Number one, that gun is ridiculous in multiplayer. That is real.
Yeah.
It's genuinely overpowered in multiplayer. Very little recoil, very good damage range, most noticeably extreme headshot multiplier. I was getting so many headshot kills. Activision devs do not play their own game.
3,000 devs can't figure out how to add a reconnect feature to a AAA title, I guess. I don't know.
Because Infinity Ward doesn't tell their consumers anything.
Maybe that'll take some of the sweats away from Shoot House.
You can cope about that for sure.
Thanks for tweeting, at least. Thanks for doing more than Infinity Ward has done. They just keep tweeting about the soccer bundles in the store.
Things that are bad. We've got a couple words. Why don't you kick it off, Tanner?
This is going to be a longer section than the first part you guys heard.
Change it, obviously, of course. We are live, boys and girls. Welcome to The Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast. Episode number 320. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. Today, I'm joined by young Tanner.
Yeah. Hey, happy 420, man.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Right.
Really?
What's worse, April Fools or 420?
420 by far.
Really?
420 is much worse, I think, because drug addicts are worse than people just trying to make a dumb joke.
You know what used to happen in school every 420 is you would get the guy who says, "Did you know 420 is Hitler's birthday?" And it's like, yeah, dude, I've heard this every year for 30 years.
Yeah.
Stop telling me. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I wonder if the kids still talk about that these days.
I'm sure they do. And I don't. It's like, listen, is 2 + 2 4 also? Shut up. I don't care. Doesn't matter. Anyway.
Yeah.
So while you're getting high today, I want you to think of the Holocaust. And that ruin your 420. That's what I want.
No, we had
to happen.
We had a good post in our local in our Your Old Town's Facebook group this morning. Oh, solid stuff. One of the city council members posted a link to substance abuse.
Oh my God! Really?
Talking about how like marijuana is addictive and how it like hurts you. He just so happens to be a cop, of course. And he was talking about this and that and how proud he was that our city passed these like anti-marijuana things, like laws and municipal codes a few years ago, and he was all proud of it. The comments were turned off real quick. It was funny. It was great, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is, of course, right. I mean, yeah, those people should all be in prison.
Well,
for smoking weed.
Welcome
it causes
to the show.
Permanent mental
and if you're
illness.
Smoking weed, I don't think you should be in prison. I think you should maybe go to work, but you know, it's fine. Whatever. It's a joke. Doesn't matter. I don't care. Anyway, welcome to the show. Today we have a couple things to talk about. Not too very much, but like a recent episode we've done, there is some fun and exciting discourse on the TL that has been brought to my attention that's the piece I'm most excited to get into today. Because the discourse has been spicy about Call of Duty lately, ever since Season 3, of course. Everything surrounding the Season 3 and the disappointment and all the backlash the creators have gotten has kind of died down largely, but there's some new fun and exciting little tweet, and I want to get into that because it's pretty funny. And as usual, there's just a big swath of people who are just catastrophically wrong and their brains don't work. So we're going to talk about them. But first, we have some other things to talk about, a couple little patches, and before that, some announcements. We got a lot of upgraders to the Damascus tier. You guys heard our cry for help. Wow. Which we'll get more into.
We were pissing and crying,
in our behind the scenes episode. Edmund, Dane P, and young Jax Amiss upgrading their Patreon tiers from whatever the fuck they were before to Damascus. Straight to the top. Boys, girls, probably all boys there. Thank you very much.
I would imagine those are boys, yeah.
Very much appreciated for the fire upgrade to Damascus. And you guys will get that behind the scenes episode now. So that's good for you, and it's good for us too. So we appreciate that. We also got a new annual gold patron, Mark A, going straight annual, saving 12 or 16%. Don't remember the discount amount by going annual, but we very much appreciate that, Mark. Tyler S also upgrading to annual gold. Very kind of you, gentlemen, and very much appreciated. And Drexy Boy opting in once again, annual fucking Damascus, dude. The biggest king of them all. Again, getting that discount, that fire discount, locking it in. Young Drexler, friend of the pod, friend of Halliburton and Raytheon and Lockheed Martin and other defense contractors. So
God, I love sneezing.
Anyway, shout out to you, Drex. Thank you very much, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Really much appreciate that. All of you new patrons, very kind of you, boys and girls. Now, speaking of the Patreon, we have done an episode so far this month. We're going to be doing another one tomorrow. And that, the one we've done was a little patron Q&A. And it was, I mean, Tanner's written here that it was fine. It was fine because we rescued an episode from just the jaws of awfulness, I guess. I mean, the questions that we received were abysmal. Terrible, reprehensible, low quality, just really shit, dog shit, awful questions. Luckily, we're podcasting sensations, so we figured it out. We did a solid patron Q&A episode, but it was despite your guys' questions. Let me be clear. Mm-hmm. It wasn't because of your questions that the episode was good, and it wasn't irrelevant that the episode was good because of the questions. It was in spite of your dog shit questions, the episode was still somehow good because podcasting phenoms. But do better for sure, and we talked about that. And if you are a Platinum or Damascus patron, you can help contribute to asking better questions by signing up, going to Discord, patron Q&A, and asking better questions. Because that was an embarrassment and a shame, really. But the episode was done, nonetheless. And that is now live. So if you're a Platinum or Damascus patron, you can go listen to that. What were your thoughts on that absolute episode, Tanner?
My thoughts, I think we spent more time scrolling, looking for a serviceable question than we did answering questions. I mean, yeah, my scroll wheel's broken, actually. We just had to, oh my God, dog shit questions. So if you didn't like that episode, those were the best questions we could find, sadly enough. I mean, we fucking scrolled, so sorry.
That was, yeah. So, in all seriousness, it was fun. I don't know. It was good, but yeah, that's something you get every month, the Q&A. Those vary a lot, I think, in terms of our enjoyment of them. Because, like, before this last episode, the patron Q&As, like, twice in a row were really, really good. Really enjoyed them. And then we just dropped the ball. That's fine, and it's your guys' fault, so figure it out. But anyway, it's live now. On the topic of Patreon and other episodes we are doing this month, we're going to be doing behind the scenes, and we're going to, again, put that off for as long as we can, because things are still kind of in the works that we want to talk about. But we could do it pretty soon now, actually. But there's a lot of news there for those of you who are interested in or curious about the inner workings of the podcast. The behind the scenes this month for you Damascus patrons is going to be very interesting. And we're also going to be doing some other episodes. Yeah,
some episodes for sure.
We're going to be doing like a second impressions on season 3 because our first impressions, we hadn't played that much of anything. And like, I hadn't even used any of the new guns either. I hadn't tried sniping in Warzone yet either. So there's still a lot to be experienced that we did not talk about. So we're going to be doing a second impressions on that. That's going to be one of our gold episodes. Probably do a Warzone brainstorm as well. There's a lot to talk about there as well, obviously, especially with one-shot snipers existing, and not really sure what we're doing for that third gold episode. We're gonna have to think more about that and figure that out, but that should be good. I'm particularly excited about the brainstorm and the second impressions, frankly. And I'll say this also, by the way, we might do like an island brainstorm, because
it will be for sure.
If they don't fix the Moz issues, I'm not playing it. I'm not playing on 95 frames and like 1.5 second server hitches. I'm just not doing it. So unless that is like fixed soon, very soon, which it won't be probably, then it's probably going to be more like an Ashika Island brainstorm. Yeah. So that's what's on the docket for the Patreon bonus eps this month. So keep that in mind. Also, we got some additional support, some offline donos, once again, responding to the bat signal. Ben G gave us a nice little cash donation. I didn't want to show up young Hunter, but I hope this helps. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming Hunter gave us another donation or something. I don't know. I don't remember someone named Hunter. Do you?
That's H.
Oh, is that H?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you didn't show up, Hunter.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But you guys are even. Or something. Anyway, Benji with the $40 offline.
Let's go.
Going to the dropshot.com, giving us a fire dono. We appreciate that very much, dude. Yeah, show people up, by the way, in general. You guys should want to show people up in terms of cash donations to the podcast.
Yeah.
You do
you
want
guys
to
should
show
fight
people
over
up.
that spot. Yeah.
Yes, you do want to. So, Benji, very appreciated. $40, a lot of money. And it helps right now. Again, we'll get into that in the behind the scenes, but very much appreciated in all seriousness. Very kind of you, sir. That is no small dono. H, thank you again also for the $50 super chat. And a lot of super chats in our last few episodes. But that $50 today is very much appreciated. Nicole also gave us a little offline dono. No message attached, but it was 100 fucking United States dollars, which is insane. Nicole, a big friend of the pod, a lot of help behind the scenes for us with website stuff, SEO stuff. Some of which has been quite helpful, actually, particularly how it doesn't matter, but our like metadata or some shit was set up. She helped a lot with that, and we never would have known unless she looked into it. So that was very cool. But also, you know, been a patron, YouTube member, multi-boxing YouTube member, and $100 fucking is extremely generous and based.
Wow.
So
Queen
Nicole,
shit, huh?
Queen shit for sure. Yeah, she's the...
Damn, thank you.
She's the queen bee, the bottom bitch, as some might say.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, shout out to Nicole, an absolute fucking friend of the pod. Thank you very much, Princess, Queen, for the $100. Very appreciated. And
Nicole the bottom bitch, huh?
Last and most importantly, your shit brother-in-law, right when we ended our last podcast, gave us a little super chat, and there was no message attached, but he did say $200. Holy shit.
Wow.
A 200 United States dollar super chat, which is outside of your mind, really.
After we ended the stream?
Yeah, like right after we ended the stream.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
So get fucked.
I just exit out of that as soon as we stop streaming. Damn.
Yeah. So get fucked, but $200 is fucking ridiculous.
Wow, let's
frankly.
go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
You really should have attached a message because we would have read it, but you didn't.
And he's gonna buy me pizza on Saturday, so that's cool.
That's another little expense, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
for the pizza, man.
That's insane. Boomertown Gaming, young Chris, Tanner's shit brother-in-law. Obviously, very much appreciated. Very generous.
Thank you, Chris.
We really appreciate that, dude. That's nuts. So thank you very much.
And do people like us again?
It's possible. I think our cries for help actually galvanized a couple people. So
yeah, well, I'm glad it worked.
So for all
I'm
the
start
support,
physically crying right now, tears streaming down my face.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, thank you guys. We really appreciate it. It means a lot. And speaking of support, if you're fucking poor and you want to help us, then go make a kick.com account. It's free, and follow us at the Dropshot Podcast on Kick. It's all free. Do that, and you don't have to spend any money, and you can help the program. We need 75 followers. We don't have that, so make it happen. Figure it out. Lag has conveniently linked it in the YouTube chat, so go do that now. And thank you very much. We're multi-streaming there for a while. So we're live on YouTube, we're live on our website, of course, and we're live on Kick at the moment. And it would be nice to monetize on Kick, and we need a certain number of followers to do that. So make it happen now. Thanks in advance. So, all right, if you're listening for the jingle, here it is. Thanks for the support, guys. Let's get into this bitch.
Nice jingle, man. Get a mustache trimmed up for Saturday.
Boys and girls, welcome to the show. So today, not too much to talk about. There have been a couple of small little updates to the game since season 3. The much heralded and a huge letdown season 3 was. We've gotten a few updates since then. You might think they're important updates or patches or changes or bug fix. They're not. They're not important. They aren't very impactful at all. But still, we will talk about them. So let's dive into the notes here and see if anything matters.
Oh, yeah. Let's take a peek.
Let's see if anything matters. So the 14th would be where we are, correct?
That'd be where we are, yeah.
Okay, so Friday, April 14th. This was a day after. Oh, cool. And my thing is frozen again. Actually, I hate computers. I just want you guys to know that. So just keep that in mind and give me 1 second. Because I have to fucking restart OBS again because it's a dog shit trash program. So hold on. Here we go. Anyways. I don't know why it happens, but I hate it. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think most of it doesn't matter other than on Ashika last week, they did increase the number of buy stations to 15.
Up from 10. So
that is noticeable.
That is noticeable and good, but I'm beginning to think they are not going to do static buys ever on Ashika.
Yeah. Yeah,
which I think
don't know.
is a mistake. Because I had originally said they're probably going to make them static just like they did on Moz, which they should do. But they keep changing how the buy stations work, but not making them static. At this point, I don't think they're going to be static, which is unfortunate, but this is still better than before. So that's fine, I guess. And then some bug fixes. Nothing crazy here. Nothing really relevant.
Yeah, the only bugs that ever get fixed are the ones that no one ever experiences. Yeah,
that's correct. Yes.
So
that's pretty much it for that patch. And then there was also one on Wednesday the 19th. Stability issue. This update contains fixes for a number of known crashes. So crashing was not one of the issues I was having on Moz. It was just performance. So this wouldn't have helped me. But maybe if you were crashing, you won't be anymore. Let's see here. And then that's pretty much it. Like I said, a bunch of global bug fixes, most of which probably don't matter.
I think there was a bug fix. Hold on that. Oh, fixed an issue that could sometimes cause kill cam not to trigger properly. Nope.
Doubt it.
Don't ever tell me that again.
Yeah.
Because they've never worked in Warzone. They just won't give them to you half the time.
Yeah.
So don't ever say that again in a patch note.
Yeah.
There was something that was kind of big, I thought.
I heard there was one thing on Ashika where everyone was like forced into the plane and couldn't drop until
that was,
and I think they fixed that.
That was Al Mazrah resurgence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think that's
like
been
the lobby
fixed.
actually ended in like a minute because like the circle and the gas zone didn't line up.
Yeah, there is a QA team and they're not a PSYOP, by the way, so that's cool. Anyway, and then they did some more ranked play restrictions. This is just to mirror again what the CDL is doing. So they're actually letting them use the new sniper in ranked play. That's kind of surprising, actually.
No, that's restrictions.
Yeah, but
So
wouldn't
that's
they
all
just say they're
restricted.
restricting the FJX Imperium itself, not its ammo types?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they have other snipers in there. So, yeah, it makes sense. Just can't use many attachments on them.
I guess, but usually they didn't add DLC guns to the CDL. I'm surprised they're letting people
Well, they
use
probably
this.
won't in the CDL. This is probably just ranked play, I wonder. I don't know
I
if
don't know.
everything's going to follow CDL going forward. I'm not sure.
I think I'm with you, though. Whether or not it's allowed, it doesn't really matter. Because I'm not using this in ranked anyway, multiplayer.
Yeah, exactly.
So it doesn't really matter. So yeah.
Yeah.
And then Warzone 2, BR adjustments. Improved buy station interface for players using a controller to now start on gear selection. It's like to optimize like buying shit quickly, I guess. So that's cool. Fixed an issue causing players to have spawn protection incorrectly applied after a gulag match. Oh,
Yeah,
that
people
was
were, like,
unintended.
invincible.
Okay.
No. They're talking about, I think, the bug where you would hit the ground and you'd be running around and you'd still have spawn protection.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what they're talking about.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So, I mean, that's good, I guess. Let's see.
Looks like they fixed the issue of people not getting their loadout guns, maybe.
Added a
Like
1
where
minute
you...
countdown on DMZ match start before player can use the UAV kill streak. So the reason they need to do this, by the way, is because they added pay to win DMZ skins where you just have a UAV as soon as you load in.
Yeah.
So that's cool. This is probably fine, but I mean, don't add pay to win DMZ skins, obviously.
Yeah.
So, and then some DMZ bug fixes. That's pretty much it. So yeah, not much there.
They fixed the you can pick up backpacks in DMZ again. You could not on a controller. It was busted until yesterday. They fixed that.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Not like anyone's killing each other in DMZ, but if someone falls to their death, now you can pick up their backpack since you don't actually kill anyone because you guys just all team up.
Yeah. What is cool about you can't extract with the backpack still though, can you? Or can you now?
Yeah. Well, you can like equip their backpack. So if you have a medium, they have a large, you can take theirs off them and equip it.
I see.
I did that yesterday when we played.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that's a good change. That's a good change.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like DMZ is so shot. Now that it's pay to win, it's like I don't even care about it anymore. But anyway, yeah. Not
Yeah,
much
it is pay to win, but
change
again,
there.
when the combined KD of a 6-person squad is 1.2 and they all have UAVs, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. I think we're still going to win those gunfights, even if they have 6 UAVs.
Yeah, you and I, yeah, for sure.
I mean, yeah, me, you, and Jake are the top 3 DMZ players in the world, so.
Dude, we killed me and you just randomly queued to level up new guns in DMZ, and we killed 8, 9 people
With no attachment guns.
with just dog shit. And then we crashed at the exfil chopper when I had both the new guns ready to extract. So that was fun and exciting. Yeah. So yeah, here's another little hidden patch note. Blizzard's constantly getting DDoSed, I guess. This has been happening a lot. And yesterday, Tanner and I were playing COD, and we were going to start with some DMZ. because I wanted to find the new guns and extract with them to unlock them instead of having to go through the battle pass and get them. So we load in. Tanner has his like level 1 intervention. I have whatever I have, my Victus, I guess. None of the new guns. I didn't have any yet. And the plan was to like fuck around, and then I was going to exfil with Tanner's intervention, so I had that unlocked so I could start leveling it. Then people fucked around and were on our screen, and we killed literally 1, 2, I think 3 squads. So we killed like 9 people. All miserable dog shit players, by the way. The only time I got downed is because I got run over. That was the only time I went down or was in danger. And we still won that gunfight. Miserable dog shit players. They had both the new guns on them. So I was like, oh, cool. I can get out with the Cronen and the intervention, and I'll have them both unlocked. I don't have to go through the battle pass. That's great. So I have all the shit, go to the exfil, call the chopper in. It starts coming in, and I needed 30 more seconds to have both of them unlocked. Blizzard gets DDoSed, I'm immediately kicked because the BNet servers go down or whatever. Interestingly, Tanner wasn't kicked. But I guess since I moved, I'm on a different server or some shit. I don't know how it works. But I was very deeply upset at this. Yeah. Get DDoS protection. I don't know.
You had both the new weapons, and you had a weapons case.
And I had a weapons case also. That's correct.
So we were marked, so everyone knew where we were, because when you have a weapons case, it like live updates everyone on the server. So as soon as we called in that chopper there, Raz crashed 5 seconds later, and then 3 teams rolled up on me with vehicles and like mounted machine guns. So I just died because I'm also getting shot by bots. So I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I just left the game. Yeah. We had a teammate left and he's just driving away. So yeah, that would have been the perfect round. And then, Blizzard, they got a DDoS and we couldn't get back on for what, 30, 45 minutes or so probably total.
It was like
at least.
Almost an hour. Yeah. Which I guess isn't exactly Activision's fault. It is their fault, though, because the reason they're getting DDoSed is for over-promising and under-delivering. So I'm victim-blaming Activision in this case. Yeah, you guys deserved it. Your skirt was too short, Activision.
Yeah.
And you deserved it. So not that it is... It's an analogy, and it's not like... It doesn't matter. Anyway. Rape is bad, and I'm not victim blaming in that case.
Dropshot
but in this
LLC
case,
does not endorse rape.
Yeah, correct. In this case, though, I am victim blaming Activision. Fuck you. So anyway, that was fun and exciting. That has nothing to do with Patch Notes. I just thought that was a funny story. But nonetheless, was anything good changed with the patches so far? Not really. I think by far, as far as I'm concerned, the biggest thing that needs to be addressed is the server issues, which we're going to get into in a moment. But before that, Raven tweeted this morning, today is totally the same as any other day. To celebrate totally the same, BR is live in Warzone for the next 24 hours. I hate it, and I don't know what it means. What is this mode? Do you know?
It's the mode where like you float up in the air.
They're doing
when you
that
get shot
again?
and stuff. Oh yeah, it's the only LTM they've done in Warzone 2, yeah.
Are you able to play regular?
Probably. I don't think anyone would care if you couldn't, so I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's cool. So anyway.
Yeah, you honestly may not be able to play regular Moz, but no one plays it, so who knows.
April Fools, you weren't allowed to play regular Moz when they added it. So maybe you can't now. I don't know. So anyway, that's cool. Yeah. So yeah, it's like a 420 playlist, I guess, because there's a leaf emoji in the tweet. Why? It's not fun.
They're drug addicts, man.
It's not a fun or good game mode, but anyway, whatever. There you go. That's it for changes. So cool. Yeah, the entire fucking industry, the entire game, the entire franchise is on fire. It's a raging inferno, and we haven't even called the fire department yet. We haven't done any patch with a big fire truck. We haven't gotten the hoses out. We haven't even turned the sprinklers on, really. I mean, we've gotten the spritzer bottle that we use to spray our cat in the face, and we're just standing out front, just kind of spritzing at a I mean, a thermal, whatever. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We're not doing enough. Get to work, Activision. Anyways, that's it for changes. Now on to news and upcoming changes. Again, not much to talk about here. First of all, there is multiplayer free access from now until the 26th. And let me be clear, there has never been a worse time to do this.
Yeah, they planned this out months ago, huh? Thinking this would be this season 3 would save Warzone.
They sure did.
And the game.
Yeah, they sure did. So, not that this is going to be relevant for most of you, but you can play multiplayer for free. And there's a lot of modes you can do. You can do, I believe, gunfight. You can do ground war. You could do the normal shit. And you could play a bunch of the maps, which is cool. I was working on leveling my Cronen a little bit in sixes yesterday. And I guess we could talk a little bit now about some of the new things we've experienced beyond our first impressions episode, because there's really not much else for us to go over. But yeah, I caved. I bought COD points, just enough to get the Cronen Squall unlocked. So shame on me, and I feel like a piece of shit for doing it, for supporting this dog shit company. But also it's my job and it's a tax write-off. So I said, fuck it. I spent $20, I think, and I got enough tiers to get the Cronen Squall. So I was leveling that, and I was just playing sixes hardpoint. And then I got one of the new maps, Black Gold, which we had talked about a little bit. And we said it's the night mode map, so it's bad for that reason. But the layout of the map is actually pretty good. It's like a 3-lane map. All of a sudden, I'm playing hardpoint on this map with my level, I don't know, 15 Cronen Squall or whatever. First of all, a couple things. Number one, that gun is fucking ridiculous in multiplayer. That is real. Yeah. It's genuinely overpowered in multiplayer. Very little recoil. Very good damage range. Most noticeably, extreme headshot multiplier. I was getting so many headshot kills. And I'm thinking it's actually like a 2-tap if you hit upper chest head in multiplayer, which is ridiculous. It's really fucking good, that new BR in multiplayer. So, anyway, it's really fun to use. And I would say it's genuinely overpowered in multiplayer. It's not like disgustingly overpowered, but I think it does need a nerf in some capacity. I don't know exactly how you do that. I think honestly what you do is you just give it a lot more recoil than it has. Because it's really, the fire rate isn't very fast. And the handling isn't very good either. It's not terrible though, but it's not great. And if you want to put like extended mags on it, then the handling's pretty fucking slow, which I think is fine. But I think the biggest thing that would make the most sense is it needs to have a lot more recoil by default. I think that's how you balance that gun. So then it's either just gonna have a lot of recoil, or you have to sacrifice a lot of attachment slots to control that recoil. And then you can keep the insane damage multiplier for headshots and all that. Because right now it's too easy to use for how good it is. And it's just insane. So anyway, I was playing on Black Gold. All of a sudden I see a fucking relentless medal on my screen. I was like, oh shit, I should go for a nuke. So then I start trying to go for the nuke. I get to either 26 or 27, and then the match ended.
Yeah, that happens, man.
The enemy team won, and I was like, fuck. I didn't really realize what was going on. Unfortunately. But that gun is insane. Really insane. And it's easy to get high kill streaks on that night map, by the way, because I got that relentless on one on the far wall of one of the lanes. And then I was like, oh, bet I'm just going to patrol here. So I patrolled like a 30-meter little area.
Little patrol
people
zone,
would just run by, and I'd just fuck them. Yeah.
So you're camping. You're the corner camper everyone hates. You are what ruins Modern Warfare 2.
Not corner camping. I was patrolling. It was a patrol route. But anyway,
so it actually
so
it actually
disgusting, though.
It actually doesn't have an insane headshot multiplier. Does 40 chest, 56 to the head.
40 chest.
Which is not that much
What about
considering some
upper
of the
chest?
other headshot multipliers.
For like neck, maybe.
Neck is the same as chest. Neck 40, chest 40.
Wow.
So
it's
then
not
head
a 2-tap
56. No.
It's almost a 2-tap. If anyone's like weak at all, it's a 2-tap if you hit a headshot. But yeah, it felt like I was hitting those, but I don't know. Whatever it is, it's really good. Have you used it in multiplayer?
Yeah, a lot. To me, guns in multiplayer in this game, I think overall feel, I don't know, I don't play multiplayer a lot. People that play multiplayer, I think, say differently, but I think you can use, honestly, like any automatic gun you want in multiplayer. But the time to kill in this game, most guns are at least decent. This just feels like another good automatic gun. I will say, though, it does have far less recoil than I thought it would, since it is a battle rifle. I was expecting a lot more than it has. The handling's not terrible either, because I think that's because in season 3 they made some changes to the, like the heavy barrels and stuff like
that's
that.
A good point.
So that does help with things. But yeah, I thought it felt good in multiplayer. I mean, even from 0 attachments, it felt really good. And that's the way MW2 has felt for a lot of guns, actually. You'll use a base gun, you'll be like, holy shit, this feels really good. Then you'll start adding attachments and it just ends up feeling worse, because every single attachment in the game has a con listed there with it pretty much. So it felt good from the minute I used it with no attachments. So yeah, I was really enjoying it. I was just building mine for mobility pretty much in multiplayer. And I think I used the horizontal muzzle device, which I want to experiment with some other things on it, because it does have a lot of vertical recoil as well. So I want to try something like a vertical attachment on that one to see how it feels. But it's, when I'm using the horizontal muzzle device, all I have to do is pull down pretty much. It doesn't bounce around a whole lot. It just goes up more than you would imagine it would, I guess. But, in multiplayer, it doesn't really matter, especially because the time to kill is so fast. But yeah, I tried using it in Warzone for a little bit. We had 2 of the worst randoms I've ever played with on our team that were landing wherever they wanted. One of them died like 4 times in the first 2 minutes of the game. So it was miserable, yeah. But so I couldn't even use it, because then I go to get my loadout on Ashika. No, you can't, because the 3 loadouts for every single team spawn at the same spot on the map. So everyone's fighting over them at the same point. So you can't get your loadouts. It's not possible. So yeah. Super cool.
Yeah, that was miserable. I do wonder how it would feel as like a primary long range gun, because like the recoil is like, it feels like there's very little, but I've also been using it in multiplayer with literal iron sights, because the irons are really good. So if I put like what I usually do for Warzone for Moz, the Schlager on it, I do wonder how much recoil it would feel like then. I'm anxious to try that.
I was using a red dot, or trying to.
I'm surprised you don't feel like it's overpowered in multiplayer, though, because it does. Like, I agree with you. A lot of guns feel like good and usable in multi, for sure. But this feels like a step better than them. I felt like I was winning a lot of gunfights where I was not shooting first, which I didn't deserve to win, basically. That's what it's because
you were in the free to play lobby, so everyone was like level 5, and I've never played the game before.
Actually, might be true, because those kids on Black Gold were fucking dog shit.
Yeah, because you get it put in the same lobbies as them, so you'll see like all of a sudden you'll be like playing against a bunch of kids that are like lower than level 20, and you're like, oh, here's all the free to play.
Yeah,
players.
You might be right. You might be onto something.
That's why you got a 27. The highest you've gotten prior to that in the game is 9.
Wrong. Oh. It was 35, but anyway.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I went to equip my new calling card, but there isn't one, so that's cool. Yeah. Secret.
It's coming in season 6.
Yeah, they're gonna add.
How do you launch a game without a nuke calling card? But every single bundle you sell has like 3 calling cards with it and emblems that all look cool. You can't design just a nuke. I don't get. They don't care if people are good at the game. They really don't. They don't want people to be good. They don't want you to show off and rub it in the face of some dipshit that can't get a 4 kill streak.
Right. Yeah, it's a shame, but anyway, yeah. But regardless, yeah, we'll talk more about the new gun and how it works in Warzone and shit, because I am curious to try it. I feel like it might be good on a Sheikah. I don't know. I'm excited to try it. But anyway, multiplayer free access. There you go. Call of Duty has also finally tweeted today, "We are investigating reports of server-related gameplay issues and are actively working to resolve them." So this is what we talked about on Saturday. How, yeah, there's some server-related gameplay issues for sure, where it hiccups for 2 full seconds, for example. This is like priority number 1 when a patch goes out. The game should function. And I was going to say I can't believe it took them a week to acknowledge that that's even an issue. Well, and it's not like they're tweeting, "Oh, we fixed it." They're just saying, "Oh, we're aware of it." So then the question becomes, did they just become aware of it? Definitely, unironically, it's possible with these devs. Or did they just finally feel like they had to admit it at this point? I don't know. But we've gotten one indication that they are at least aware that the issues exist. Who knows how long till they fix it. But again, I refuse to play Moz until they fix the server-related issues. Moz is unplayable with the issues right now. It's literally unplayable. So that's cool.
Yeah. And, Pacific Los Angeles servers have not existed since about halfway through Caldera. They removed them. They never, talked about those issues ever. So cool. So yeah, even if they fix this hitching issue, the servers have been so bad for like basically a year now, at least. I mean, we can 4-stack people that live in the same city and we get put in a New York server. Like, why? And we're all on 90 ping.
Well, the server latency is fake. So yeah, who knows where the servers we're connecting to are. But they just don't make any sense. And like I demonstrated this beyond a shadow of a doubt. Because like it was me, Tanner, and Jake, and someone else. I think someone East Coast. And we got a server where it showed that I had less ping than someone else who could not have possibly had less ping than me. So like, okay, I'm central-ish. Okay, Tanner's West Coast and fucking Jake is East Coast. And I had like 10 ping, and then Tanner had like 40 ping, and then Jake had 5 ping. It was like, there's no location on Earth where that time is possible. I don't remember the specifics. I can't figure it out right now, but I determined like, oh, the ping is definitely fake news, which is, by the way, I always have been saying this. That's obvious. Especially when the game will tell me sometimes in multiplayer. Usually multiplayer, it'll say my ping is like literally 11 milliseconds. That's not possible. The server's not in my backyard. The ping can't be 11 milliseconds, or sometimes actually single digits. It's like, so this is all fake. So who knows? Yeah, there have been server issues, but they've never been this bad. Never. So hopefully they figure it out soon, but anyway. Yeah. What's the next little item here?
What is the next little item? Oh yeah, the thing you put in. Yeah, everyone's mad because they keep bringing back skins.
Oh, did I put this in? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like MW19. People keep quoting this and tweeting it out. Pictures. There will be a weapon skin that was in Modern Warfare 2019. That's a color, and basically they reskin it for Modern Warfare 2, put it back in, sell it as a brand new $20 bundle. They change hardly anything at all other than the overall color and resell it again. So yeah, people are real upset about this. I personally am like, I don't buy the bundles. I don't really care. You could just not buy them. Is it lazy? Yeah, of course. But I mean, there's new bundles in the store every fucking 2 days. Like, how do you really expect them to come up with that many new bundles constantly all the time? I don't know. And I bet if you look back, they've probably been doing this shit for like 8 years. Since they started selling things. So it's not that surprising. People are really upset about it. There are a million other things I'd be upset about first. But I don't generally buy bundles or care about this shit to begin with.
Yeah, I don't know why this is a controversy, but there Charlie Intel is the tweet I referenced here, but I swear to God, I've seen this tweet from like 5 different people. Like, Infinity Ward's just reskinning bundles from MW 2019 and selling them again. They're so greedy. This is not... I don't know why people are mad about this. First of all, there are other things to be mad about, like Tanner just said, that we should be talking about, not fucking reskinned cosmetics. But also, if they made a cool looking bundle in an older game, I want them to bring it back. That's fine. Who cares? If it looked cool, then make it for the new game and sell it to me again. That's fine. What's the what's the issue? I don't understand what the problem is there. Like, I quite literally don't understand why they're mad about that. It's like they're not just going to give it to you for free because you bought one for a different game 3 years ago that looks similar. So, like, I don't understand the problem. I don't get it. We should be mad about, like, the DMZ pay-to-win skins for sure. Like, complain about that. Or, like, the Black Cell bundle shit. Complain about that. Those are things that are fair, but... yeah, bringing back old skins. I don't know. I don't see the issue.
Yeah,
there.
I mean, it's dumb. Yeah, but the one that pissed me off the most was when they started selling a skin that was the nuke skin but looked better. That was scummy to do to people that earn the nuke.
Yeah,
it's like, why do you have
like
this
different.
in the game?
Yeah,
something earnable. But yeah, I get it. It is, they're reusing assets. If you don't like it, simply don't buy it. Like we do. So.
Yeah, it's that simple. So yeah. Anyway, last point here is about a little tweet. There once was a little tweet, and this sparked a lot of discourse. So here's the tweet. It's from Expel at IMExpel. Do you know who this is, by the way? Have you ever heard of this guy?
Yeah, he's a little... he has a lot of dog shit, terrible takes, but he sometimes has some good things to say. Yeah, okay. It's hit or miss.
Hit or miss. Yeah. Well, anyway, apparently he's relatively popular, I guess, because I saw this tweet, and it's a tweet. I'm not going to read all of it, but here's what it says. Dear at Call of Duty, you seemingly don't understand how to make your Warzone fan base happy. Here's a thread to help. And then there are a bunch of points, and he talks about each point. I'm not going to read about what he says about each point, but here are the points. Fix your awful servers, stop removing playlists, QA test at scale before an update, fix bugs more often, quadruple the number of buys, remove bots, stop changing strongholds black sites, optimize audio for footsteps, listen to the community, and then understand. Those are his little points. And under each of those, he wrote a little blurb about what that means. And this was an open letter to Activision, to Call of Duty. That's who he added. And this, surprisingly, sparked a lot of talk on the TL, which is the timeline, the Twitter timeline for old people. TL means timeline. And we use it. We started using it ironically. Now I use it unironically, which happens all the time. So anyway, I'm kind of surprised at how much discourse there is around this, because I feel like I see a tweet every fucking day where some content creator is like, Activision, you need to do this. Like Iceman Isaac, for example, makes a tweet like this every month. Like, hey, Raven, great step in the right direction. Here's some additional things you can look into. I swear to God, I've seen Isaac tweet that 20 times.
Warzone is saved. Warzone is back. Smile.
He tweets all the time. And a bunch of content creators do. Which is fine, I guess. You're shouting into the abyss, but it's fine to do that, I guess. And it's never gotten that much traction. But this time, it's a little different, because it seems like video game developers have gotten a little bit in their feelings, as the kids say, and have taken this particular tweet a little personally, which I find very interesting. What did you find any highlights from game developers?
It's just they basically keep highlighting and talking about like, I can't believe this isn't satire, blah blah, like this it like they have no clue how game dev works. And for some reason in the game development world, it always boils down to people get feedback. We talked about the one dev a long time ago who had said something about people want true game data and JGOD to like work with like weapon balancing, and he was like, they wouldn't know the first thing about balancing weapons. There are like hundreds of variations and this and that, and they take it so literal. It's like, no one's claiming they know how to code the video game. Yes, we don't know how to do that. What people are trying to say is, how come you can't make these changes? How come you can't lower the headshot multiplier on this gun? How come you can't make the Fennec deal 3 less damage to every body part? That's what they're talking about. But then they take it so literal, and it's like, you don't know, game dev is hard. This shit is not easy. Okay. And that person you're arguing with does a job that game dev can't do. That's how the world works. You can't not every person can do every single job out there. They can do something that game dev can't do, but it becomes so fucking literal for them, and they take it so personal and get so butthurt about all of it. And it's so frustrating to read their responses. Like one of his, of course, one of his notes was
there are so
optimize
many people
audio.
shitting on him.
Yeah, one of them was optimize audio for footsteps. None of the game devs respond to any of this, right? Because they've literally proven it's that simple. They did it with Battle Rage in Warzone 1. They added in something you could pick up on the ground that raised the volume of footstep audio. So you can't just simply raise the volume of footstep audio without Battle Rage. Like, what? Don't pretend like you can't do that shit. It's just, I really honestly hate the mindset of video game developers. I don't get it. They're just they seem so egotistical about everything. And they're just very frustrating people to like, read these tweets about it. So a bunch of them are essentially arguing with them like, LOL, this guy's no clue how game dev works, blah, blah. Content creators think they know, they don't. There's internal data that suggests other things, blah, blah. I don't, it's so annoying. Hey, look who that one's from. It's so annoying reading these because game devs, they really do piss me off. I don't know. They're all so annoying to me.
So I've been scrolling through the quote tweets and I'm showing them on stream. You were underselling how many people are mad at this.
Oh, yeah, and then you start clicking on these profile,
negative.
and it's devs from Bungie, devs from Respawn, it's people from all sorts of studios that are like quote tweeting this. Like, oh, this person doesn't know how a game dev works.
It's a bunch of game devs. Yeah. So,
it's our buddy there, that little cocksucker, the blame the suits guy.
Well, that fucking idiot. So here's one guy. I reread this thread to a colleague, and I'm dying again. I actually can't believe it isn't satire.
Yeah.
And this is a software engineer for Apex Legends. Cool. So, yeah. He's not the only one. It's a ton of game devs that are shitting on this guy for making this tweet.
Average game dev Twitter profile right there.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Anyways.
We'll move on from that.
Yeah. You said something before we went live that we were talking about, though. What was it that you said about all of this?
Well, I have a lot to say about all this. First of all, this tweet, dear COD, you don't understand how to make your Warzone fan base happy. This is obviously like impression farming, and it's fine. And some of these things are easier said than done, and I think that's why devs are getting mad. So, for example, fix bugs more often. If you're a game dev, you probably see that, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, sure, buddy. But like, that's easier said than done. It's probably what a dev is thinking and they get mad about. Or like, fix your awful servers. That's probably not even the developer's fault. But he didn't say dear Infinity Ward. He said dear Call of Duty. And you can blame Call of Duty as an entity for their awful servers, because someone who owns Call of Duty is in charge of what servers are being used and how many for the game. So if you're a game dev and you're getting mad at this as if you can't do anything about it, yeah, you probably can't do anything about it. You don't get to pick what servers the company buys. But then that doesn't apply to you, so don't get mad about it. So like a lot of these things, yeah, again, I think it's like, it's easier said than done, so devs get mad about it. But then you can't say, as a game dev, tell me you don't know anything about game development without telling me you don't know anything about game development. Because here's the thing, man. I don't need to know about game development to know that it's possible for you to move the kill streak banner more than 2 centimeters in the update. Again, this is just a great example. Like, I know that game devs exist. I know that kill streak banners exist. I know that kill streak banners can be moved on the UI. I don't need to be a dev to tell you that you're bad at your job when you only moved it 2 centimeters. I don't need to know how to develop video games to say that and to be correct about it. Yeah. There are all kinds of problems where I know how it should work and it's not working that way. And just because I can't fix it myself doesn't mean that it's not a valid criticism. The idea that you have to be able to do it better yourself to make the criticism is so common in so many arenas, and it is so fucking absurd. Where let's say I have a fucking car. Let's say I have a Mazda Miata. And every 5,000 miles, something breaks and my car won't work and I have to take it to a mechanic because I don't know how to fix cars. If I say, hey, Mazda, make better cars because it shouldn't be breaking down every 5,000 miles. Mazda would be insane to reply to that and say, oh, well, if you think you could do a better job, go make your own fucking car.
Yep.
That's absurd. That's an absurd thing to say. Here's why. Toyota makes cars also, and they don't break down for 500,000 miles. They work on no oil, and on empty, they'll drive another 300 miles. So I know that it's possible. I don't need to know how to make a car to tell you that your car is shit compared to the industry standard car, to a car. Honda Civics don't break every 5,000 miles, but the Fiat does. So I don't need to know how to make a car to tell you that Fiats are shit, for example. And it would be completely insane, again, to say, oh, well, you can't criticize how often my car breaks down since you don't know how to build cars yourselves. Absurd. And you can say the exact same thing in this case about game development. Hey, I don't need to know how to be a fucking game dev to tell you that you should QA test before an update. Duh.
Yeah. They do, though, supposedly. I guess they find 0 bugs. I would love to see how many bugs are found when they actually test these updates that go live. Because they must miss the majority of them, right? I mean, there's so many that get put into a live update.
They're a PSYOP. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
It's a PSYOP.
I don't know, man.
There is no QA team. Yeah. That's one thing I would... By the way, a lot of his suggestions kind of dumb. But one of the many things I would change in this original tweet is instead of QA test at scale before an update, I would say hire a QA team actually and stop the PSYOP, end the PSYOP, because there is no QA team. But like Tanner brought up also, optimize audio for footsteps was one of them. And then game devs being like, oh, well, it's not that simple, man. Or, oh, okay, well, do it yourself. Well, I know you guys are capable of having footsteps be audible because I played the game when Battle Rage was in Warzone and I heard those footsteps perfectly. So I know you can do it. So I don't need to know how to make footsteps louder. You know how. You've demonstrated you know how. Go back to that. Do that again. You don't need to be a game dev to do that. Yeah. So all these devs getting super butthurt. By the way, it's hilarious. People are just now starting to talk about how fucking ass mad game devs get on Twitter. Because Tanner and I have been talking about this for a couple months now, that game devs are among the worst group of people on Twitter.
Yes.
Real
They're extremely sensitive
pieces of shit that are very sensitive and very elitist, and very they have defensive. No right to be.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I said, they think because they know how to code in a video game, they're pretty much better than everyone else. But, everyone else arguing with them can definitely do plenty of things they can't. They're just I don't know, they all have a different mindset, I think. But reading through some of these, what else good was said here?
I was shocked at how many of these quote
Yeah, it was like most of the quote tweets were game devs.
And they were negative, deeply negative, yeah. And also, by the way, if you're a Call of Duty game dev and you're getting mad at this, you are making a mistake. Because even if one of your customers is making unfair critiques of you, or putting unrealistic expectations on you, you have to realize that it might not be your job to meet every unrealistic expectation, obviously, but it is your job to recognize why this is happening and why people are getting this upset and do something about it. So like, yeah, quadruple buy stations, don't do that, obviously. So if you're a game dev, you could just say, that would be dumb. Or you could say, well, in good faith, what I would think is that this person thinks we need more buy stations, not necessarily 4 times as many. So maybe we should think about adding them. But instead, you just immediately say, oh, well, you don't know how to code, so I'm better than you, or whatever. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm trying to find if there's anything else good here.
It's just a lot of devs getting mad, which is,
Yeah, and they don't really...
And they offer nothing.
Most of them, exactly. Most of them don't give any sort of like solution, which I'm not saying they have to, but it's just...
Or explanation.
Yeah, they just say like, you don't know anything. It's like, okay, well, try to explain then. Try to explain to this guy. That's what I never see most of them talk about, is like, game dev is hard. Okay, I'm sure it is hard to code shit all day long. It sounds like a miserable, boring job, if I'm being honest. But, maybe explain it better then or something. I don't know. And just,
yeah, it's also your fault that if it's true that everyone thinks game development is easier than it actually is, that's your fault for not communicating how difficult it is. Yeah. And you're just making it worse by being a condescending cunt on Twitter.
Yeah. And it's like the biggest thing is, too, when it comes to Call of Duty, is there are other games that do not have nearly this many issues. That's what it comes down to. Is all these other devs like arguing, oh, you don't know how game dev works, that work for fucking Respawn and shit. I doubt they play Warzone all the time. They probably don't realize the amount of issues Warzone has constantly that you're dealing with. I mean, just yesterday when we tried to play the game, like all this, the random issues fucking everywhere. How I have to click on my loadout on my mini map to show it. Just so many little things just stacked on top of each other. We're queuing for Resurgence Ashika. It says Battle Royale Ashika. Just so many things that don't matter, but it's like, why is this game filled with hundreds and hundreds of little tiny bugs that are just not fixed when other games don't experience this? And this is supposed to be a AAA development studio. That's what it comes down to. Is other games can do it, you can obviously do it as well, right?
That's exactly the point. Yes. And that's, again, underline that. That is exactly the point. It's not unreasonable for us to ask for many of the things we're asking for, because Call of Duty themselves have done it in the past, or other game devs are doing it currently. So, for example, writing patch notes that are informative and correct. Call of Duty games have done that before, and other developers are doing it right now. So it's not unreasonable to ask for patch notes that are accurate and complete. It's not. It's not an unreasonable ask. Or being able to hear people's footsteps. I've been able to hear footsteps before in Call of Duty. I can hear footsteps in other video games. So it's obviously possible. So it's not unreasonable for me to ask. And that's, again, yeah, the biggest point. And if you think COD has no grounds to be criticized for, then you just haven't played lately. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I was surprised by this because I saw this original tweet and I don't go looking at quote retweets, so I didn't really think anything of it. Because again, I thought it was just like the same type of tweet I've seen a million times. Hey, Activision, you're doing a good job. That's a step in the right direction. Here's some additional things to consider looking into. I've seen that tweet, I'm not kidding, literally 20 times since we started this podcast from all kinds of different content creators. So I saw this and I said, oh, another one of those. And I didn't care, didn't read it, didn't think anything else of it. Because I already know what COD needs. We've talked about it a million times. But then Tanner today brought to my attention, dude, you should go look at the quote tweets though. And I've not seen that type of feedback or reception before. Kind of surprising. Why do you think this got so many devs mad when other times they don't get this mad?
I think it's because the way he worded some things, like you seemingly don't understand how to make your Warzone fan base happy. So here's a thread that'll help. I think they didn't like that part, so they got all butthurt about it.
Yeah, that's a little condescending.
But then, the thing, they also always say feedback is like fine, but like don't come after us and be rude about it. It's like, well, maybe people become rude because they try to provide actual feedback for months on end, years on end since Warzone 1, and they still don't listen to it. So of course people are going to get mad when they keep doing the same shit over again and try to give you guys, ideas on how to change things, and none of it gets implemented. Yeah. So of course people are going to get mad at some point when nothing they think could be a basic change ever gets changed. But yeah, these responses are funny.
Yeah.
I know this person has zero knowledge about game dev. Working on Call of Duty is the worst because you'd finish a 15-hour day just to get on Twitter and see a guy be like, wow, your game sucks. I'm a genius. Get better servers.
Oh my God.
You don't work 15 hours. You may be on your computer for 15 hours. You work for 2 of those. Don't say you worked for 15 hours, you fucking piece of shit.
No one at Activision is working 15-hour days. That's so much insane overtime. That doesn't exist. And again, I'll close with this. Can we dispel with the notion that you're hurting the feelings of devs? Call of Duty devs? Because you're not. Maybe they're getting mad. I guess they are getting mad, actually, based on these quote tweets. But you're not hurting someone's little feelings by being rude on Twitter. If you're a dev and someone criticizes Call of Duty, the video game, on Twitter, and you, one guy who codes for the game, takes that personally, seek help. Or maybe like the workforce just isn't for you. Because if I worked for a company as big as Activision in one of their dev teams, and someone said, Call of Duty needs some work, I would never take that personally, because it's not one guy who codes' fault. It's all of their fault. And it's mostly the heads of the studios and the heads of the publisher. So I don't even know why some rank and file dev is taking shit personally anyway. That's weird. And if you are, that's the fucking dev's fault. That's not any content creator's fault. But in the case of the Killstreak banner, whatever dev was in charge of moving that, if you happen to hear this, I am talking to you specifically and personally, and I hope you get fucking ass mad or feel bad about it or get depressed about it. You deserve it. You deserve to feel bad and for bad things to happen to you because you're terrible at your job. I still can't believe it's real. It would have made so much more sense if they just didn't move the banner at all. Then they took the time to move the banner and just didn't do it enough. I don't know how it's possible. I'm never going to get over that. Let me be clear. I will never get over that. I'll never get over it. I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, we thought we'd bring that to your attention, but
yeah, it's all the same type of thing.
And you should be rude to them. They deserve it. It's really that simple. And if your feelings are getting hurt, I don't care. If we're buying a product and it's this faulty, then yeah, I mean, you're going to get shit on Twitter for it, and you deserve to. So no one's getting on Twitter and saying, if you're a developer at an Activision studio, you don't have worth as a human being intrinsically. Maybe I'm saying that, but people aren't saying that. So it's totally fair to be a little rude with your criticism of how they are performing at their job, because they are performing abysmally at their job. So yeah, I don't
Stop
care.
telling devs how to dev. God, this is making me so mad. One last thing here. One of these guys says, the student knows nothing about development. QA tests with creators 1 week before launch, bunch of question marks. Bro, you need months beforehand, which isn't possible because the game isn't even finished by then for QA testing. Great. Thanks for proving the point. Then why does the Call of Duty beta come out 3 weeks before the main title releases?
Exactly.
It's not a beta. You're just play testing the game that's going to launch. That's what I've been saying. Don't call it a fucking beta. You're not making any change from the beta to launch. So when this year rolls around and we have a Call of Duty beta, again, remember when all the content creators are like, oh, this game's in a pretty good spot for a beta, it is not going to change by the full release. It will not. And this guy just proved his point while trying to defend the other
literally
side.
proved his point.
Holy fucking shit. I hate these people.
Yeah, they're miserable. So anyway, Expel wrote a giant tweet update. Dear Call of Duty thread update. And he wrote a lot of words here. I'm not reading this. But can you summarize this, Tanner?
I didn't read most of it either.
Okay.
However, I'm finding in quote tweets from actual Call of Duty studio developers and those that work on many more titles in the space, it's come across as whiny and uninformed. I don't know. It's not that interesting, actually.
Yeah,
it's
and
way
I don't
too
care
long.
how much work it takes. If you're a Call of Duty dev, I don't care how difficult it is. It's your fucking job.
I don't care that you're underpaid. Yeah, you got
get
into the
paid
field.
to do it, and if you're underpaid, quit. Find another fucking job. Get promoted. And if the work is hard, then go find another job once again. If you're doing a job and you're not doing it well, don't get mad when people criticize you for it. Because we all know how a game should perform and what effect the developers have on that. And you are obviously underperforming compared to every other supposedly AAA FPS game on the market right now. Literally. This is literally the buggiest, most poorly performing, with the worst decisions that have been made in a AAA FPS game on the market right now. I can't think of a worse one.
On the market for sure right now, yeah.
Not even close. So, I mean, oh, we don't deserve it. Yes, you do. The proof is in the pudding, as they say. So, anyway. Yeah, so fuck the devs. Make them feel bad. I'm glad they're getting mad. I want them to feel any emotion so that they can maybe get out of this fucking weird melancholy or malaise or apathy that they're in, where their game is just dog shit. Get fired up about something. Make a change for the better.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Make a good game.
Make a good game. All right, well, that's it. Yeah, not much to talk about this week. Hope you guys enjoyed. Patreon.com/thedropshot. We got a lot of bonus eps coming up this week and next that are going to be fun and exciting. It's also the best way to support the show. If you want ad-free episodes and early access episodes and, of course, bonus episodes, once again, patreon.com/thedropshot. Thank you all for listening and watching. Stay humble.
Stumble.